Good afternoon, esteemed panel members. I am Yal Bermudo, and together with me are my group members, Kaizi, Sean, Jim, and Josh from the Cluster B. And we are here to present to you our research titled A Comparative Study on the Effects of Magnetized Water, Washed Water, Rainwater on the Germination Rate of Solanum melongana. Now let's begin with our chapter 1. Eggplant or Solanum melongana is a valuable crop in the Philippines. However, its germination process can take up to 14 days, slowing down production and impacting yield. And water plays a crucial role in triggering enzymatic and metabolic processes that leads to germination. That's why we explored whether different water types like magnetized water, washed water, and rainwater can accelerate this process. And while many studies praise the benefits of these water treatments, there is limited research comparing their effects on eggplant seeds. And this gap is what our study addresses. As for our research questions, first we have the what is the mean germination time of eggplant seeds treated with these different types of water? Second is there a statistically significant difference in the effectiveness of these treatments? Our study used the IPO, or input process output model, where in the input we have the four types of water, which is the magnetized, pasteurized, rainwater, and tap water as a control. For the process, a total of 120 eggplant seeds were treated, planted, and observed under controlled conditions. And in the output are the average germination time for each water type. Our study is relevant to various people. First are the farmers and gardeners who are looking for practical, cost-effective ways to improve yield. And second is for students and educators in agriculture or environmental science. And last is future researchers who wish to build upon our findings. Our scope is limited to controlled laboratory conditions, focusing solely in the germination phase, which means we did not observe the whole growth of the plant. And results may not directly apply to other crops without further studies. Now I'll turn it over to Kaizi for chapter 2.
Yuyel, this is the Chapter 2 review of related literature. Seed germination relies heavily on water, temperature, oxygen, and the dormancy status of seeds. Eggplant seeds are particularly tricky. They're sensitive and take time due to dormancy issues. Studies have shown that water quality significantly affects germination outcomes. Magnetized water is known to alter molecular structure, breaking hydrogen bonds and improving water absorption. Prior research supports its ability to speed up germination. Moreover, washed rice water contains nutrients like amino acids and starches, which are known to enhance microbial activity and support plant growth. Rainwater, while natural and chemical free, can vary in quality based on environmental factors like pollution or pH levels. Despite existing studies, a direct comparison of these water types on Salanomelangana remains limited. That's the gap we are addressing. Now here is Jim to walk us through the methodology.
Thank you, Kaiji. So for our methodology, our research followed an experimental design using a completely randomized setup. Each water type being magnetized water, rainwater, washed rice water, and tap water were applied to 30 Calixto F1 eggplant seeds, totaling up to 120 seeds being used for the experiment. The experiment took place in Barangay Canitoan, Cagayan de Oro City, and during the experiment, we used magnets, planting trays, clean containers, eggplant seeds, and soil as part of our materials. Next slide, please. In preparing each of our water type, we have done the following. For magnetized water, we treated it with N52 neodymium magnets for 30 minutes. For washed rice water, we had taken them from the first rinse of Valencia rice. For rainwater, we collected and stored them in sanitized containers. And for tap water, we collected them from residential faucets. And for the seeds, they were planted 1 centimeter deep and watered with 5 milliliters of the assigned treatment 3 times a day under consistent lighting and temperature. Next slide. As our data collection procedure, the germination of a seed was recorded based on visible shoot emergence on a day-to-day basis. And for analyzing the data, we use MGT or mean germination time to determine the average time for a seed to germinate, standard deviation to determine the variability of the germination between each water type, and one-way ANOVA for statistical comparison. We also ensured ethical practices. Next slide, please. We also ensured ethical practices by avoiding GMOs and chemicals and by maintaining transparency in data analysis or data handling. Heading over to the results and the study of the discussion, let's now hear them from Josh.
Okay, thank you, Jim. To answer our first research question, magnetized water had the fastest germination at 7.45 days, followed by washed rice water at 8.14 days, rainwater at 9.03 days, and lastly the tap water, which is at 9.41 days. These results align with earlier studies suggesting magnetized water improves enzyme activity and seed hydration. Washed rice water also showed promise due to its nutrient content. Rainwater and tap water were less effective, possibly due to inconsistency and chlorine. For our second research question, our ANOVA test produced an F ratio of 9.75 and a p value of less than 0.00001, indicating a statistically significant difference among the treatments. Now, for our final chapter, here's Sean.
Thank you, Josh. In our conclusion and recommendation, magnetized water is the most effective treatment for improving eggplant seed germination. Washed rice water also enhances germination and is a sustainable, low-cost option. We recommend further on their long-term effect on plant height, yield, and overall health, application across different crops and growing conditions, and testing under greenhouse or field conditions with larger samples. We also encourage farmers, especially those practicing sustainable agriculture, to explore these alternative water treatments. They're not only effective, but environmentally friendly. Next slide, please. Here are the photo records taken on March 3, March 5, and March 8, documenting the early germination stages of the eggplant seeds. As the seedlings continued to receive magnetized water, we observed that they developed healthier appearances and grew taller compared to those treated with tap water, which remained shorter and showed slower progress. Although our studies focus solely on the germination stage, these additional observations on subsequent growth suggest that magnetized water may also positively influence the later stage of development. Thank you for your attention. We are now open to any questions you may have.